It is almost 2 in the morning. Your eyes are burning. Your body is physically begging for sleep, but you refuse to close your eyes. You are scrolling through something you do not even care about, watching a video you have already seen, or just staring at the ceiling. Logic tells you that you are ruining your tomorrow. You know you're going to be exhausted. You know you should just put the phone down, but you will not. If this feels like self-sabotage, or if you've been telling yourself you just have no self-discipline, I have news for you. You are not lazy. You are not broken. What you are doing is actually a response to not having much control over your daytime life. And refusing to sleep early is your way of regaining some sense of freedom during late-night hours. Welcome back to Mind Translated. Today, we're talking about something that probably brought you here at an hour you should not be awake. It's called Revenge Bedtime Procrastination. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why you do it, what it's costing you, and how to fix it without just white-knuckling your way to an earlier bedtime. Picture this. You wake up at 6:30. You commute. You spend 8, 10, maybe 12 hours answering emails, managing other people's emotions, fake smiling through meetings, parenting, or just surviving an open-plan office. Every single hour of the sunlit day belongs to someone else. Then you finally get home. You shower, you get into bed, and your brain does a quick audit. It realizes it has not had a single moment of true freedom. It realizes that if you go to sleep right now, it's just pressing a fast-forward button to the next morning, where the obligations start all over again. This is what psychologists call revenge bedtime procrastination. Bedtime procrastination with an emphasis on the impact of long work hours, on the willingness to forego sleep in order to have a few more minutes of downtime. The term actually originated in Chinese social media, possibly relating to the brutal 996 working hour system, where employees work 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. But you do not have to work those hours to feel it. There is a well-established theory in psychology called self-determination theory, and it tells us that all humans have 3 basic psychological needs: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Autonomy is about feeling like you have a choice and you're willingly endorsing your own behavior. When those needs are met, people experience greater vitality and life satisfaction. When those needs are frustrated, it can lead to emotional exhaustion. So your subconscious makes an executive decision. It sacrifices your biological need for sleep to protect your psychological need for freedom. You stay up late not because you're not tired, but because you're desperate for a moment where nobody needs anything from you. Here is where your biology makes things worse. Your body's sleep hormone, melatonin, starts increasing around 7 p.m., peaks near midnight, and drops to its lowest level by morning. There is a natural window where your body is essentially saying, "Now, sleep now." That is the wave you are supposed to ride into rest. But when you ignore that wave because you want just 1 hour of me time, your brain registers a problem. Research indicates that elevated cortisol levels suppress melatonin secretion, thereby delaying sleep onset and increasing the frequency of nighttime awakenings. Your system floods you with stress hormones to keep you alert. This is why you get that second wind at 1 in the morning. You suddenly feel wired, alert, maybe even creative. But that is not genuine energy. Cortisol and melatonin have opposing rhythms, and when it comes to circadian timing, they're the main chemical mediators providing the signals that reset your body's clocks. When you push past your sleep window, you flip those signals upside down. You are not actually awake. You're running on emergency fuel, and a disruption in either cortisol or melatonin can throw your entire sleep-wake cycle out of balance. And one way this disruption happens is through chronic stress. Let me ask you something honest. When you are staying up until 2 a.m., are you actually doing things you enjoy? Are you painting? Writing? Learning something new? Probably not. You are likely scrolling social media, playing a mindless game, or watching reruns of something you have seen 10 times. Why? Because the part of your brain responsible for complex planning and good decisions is exhausted by that hour. You want freedom, but you do not have the energy for active freedom, so you settle for passive rebellion. Unlike general procrastination, bedtime procrastination is not about avoiding something unpleasant. Most people do not dread sleep. Instead, it often arises because individuals find it difficult to detach from activities that provide immediate gratification, such as binge-watching TV shows or scrolling on social media. It's the junk food of autonomy. It feels like a treat in the moment, but it leaves you worse off than before. Research provides a first indication that resisting desires throughout the day may have a cumulative effect on people's self-control in the evening. According to ego depletion theory, every volitional act, making choices, regulating emotions, initiating or inhibiting behavior, can deplete your limited self-control capacities, leaving you with fewer self-control resources for what comes next. You spent all your willpower coins at work and in your relationships. By midnight, you have none left for bedtime. Now I want to go a little deeper. Because for some of you, this habit did not start with your current job. It started decades ago. Early childhood experiences of abuse, neglect, or other forms of trauma can significantly impact the development of hypervigilance. Children who grow up in environments where they must constantly be on guard due to unpredictable or threatening circumstances may carry these learned behaviors into adulthood. These experiences can result in a heightened sensitivity to perceived threats, even when the person is no longer in an unsafe environment. If your parents were fighting, if the house was crowded or chaotic, if you had to be the emotional thermostat for the entire family, nighttime might have been the only time you were truly safe. Research has linked chaotic household settings with a range of health and behavioral issues in children, and most studies have reported increased levels of chaos associated with increased sleep problems. Your brain may have encoded a rule early on. Daytime is for other people, nighttime is for me. In adults, trouble sleeping due to an inability to turn off the mind is common, and hypervigilance often becomes ingrained, shaping thought patterns and behaviors. So now, 20 years later, even though you are safe, even though you live alone or with someone who loves you, your nervous system still waits for the world to go quiet before it finally exhales. You are not staying up to party. You are staying up to regulate. You are using the silence as medicine. So, how do we actually fix this? Because the standard advice is to put your phone away, take some melatonin, drink chamomile tea. And look, none of that is wrong, but it does not address the actual need. You are not staying up because you love your phone. You are staying up because you are starving for time that belongs to you. Sacrificing sleep for leisure time may be seen as an attempt to find recovery time in response to stress, rather than a failure of self-control. If you try to force yourself to sleep without fixing the autonomy deficit during your day, you're just going to feel trapped. The real solution is to pay yourself first. You need to carve out what I call a power down window, 30 minutes, ideally around 7 or 8 p.m., where you do exactly what you want. Not chores, not a side hustle, not helping with homework. This is your time, protected like an appointment you cannot cancel. Read a book that has nothing to do with your job. Sit on the porch with headphones. Draw something terrible. The point is not what you do. The point is that your brain registers a moment of genuine autonomy before the day ends. When these psychological needs are optimally supported, evidence suggests that people are more autonomous in their behaviors, more likely to persist at their behaviors, and feel better overall. You have to convince your subconscious that the day belonged to you, so it does not have to steal the night.
The next time you find yourself at 1 a.m., watching something you do not care about, scrolling through something that is not making you happy, do not hate yourself. Do not call yourself lazy or broken. Recognize that your brain is fighting for your right to exist apart from your productivity. It is doing what it knows how to do. It is reclaiming the only hours where nobody asks you for anything. But you deserve to enjoy your freedom while the sun is still up. You deserve to feel rested and alive, not just surviving. You are not undisciplined. You are not self-sabotaging. You are a human being who spent all day giving yourself away and is just trying to get a tiny piece back. Start giving yourself that piece earlier. Your sleep and your sanity will thank you for it. If you're watching this past your bedtime, you already know this channel is for you. Hit subscribe and leave a comment telling me your go-to late-night rabbit hole. I read every single one. And if this video helped something click, share it with someone who needs to hear this tonight. I'll see you in the next one. Get some rest.